Okay, let's do a little bit of review. That is a whole note, and that gets 4 counts. And this is a half note, and that gets 2 counts. So that'll get us as far as here. To do it, we could do another half note here, and that'll get us 4 counts of half notes. Then we could do quarter notes. 1 quarter note will get us 1 count. So that means we need 4 quarter notes to get us to 4 counts. And that's as far as we've gone. But we have other notes in music, notes that can get notes that are smaller than 1 beat, smaller than a quarter note. How about half a beat? Well, that is called the 8th note. It looks like this. It's called the 8th note because it takes 8 of them to occupy the same space that a whole note gets. So 1/8 note is 1/8 of a whole note. So this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we let go. There. So that's when we let go of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, let go. So these 8th notes, it takes 2 of them to take up the same space as 1 quarter note. So a quarter note goes 1 and an 8th note goes 1 and so they take up the same space. And it takes 8 8th notes to take up the space of an entire whole note. Okay, what about if we want to go smaller? Still, how about half the size of an 8th note? So remember, an 8th note is half the size of a quarter note, and a quarter note gets 1 beat. So while a quarter gets 1 beat and an 8th gets 1/2 a beat, now we're going to half the size of this. So it's going to take, well, it took 2 of these to get 1 of those, and we're going to get something that's half the size of this. So now it's going to take 4 of this new note to get 1 of these. Hope that's clear. So that means that 1 of these new notes, and here's what they look like. They look kind of like an 8th note, but they have 2 flags coming off. That equals 1/4 of a beat. These are beats. Okay, let's draw these. I might just do a little bit of copying and pasting on this. So 1, let me do that better. 2. See how 2 of these take up the same space that an 8th note does. 3, 4. I could be making these a lot neater. Okay. All right. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So to figure out the name of this note, we need to understand its relationship to the whole note. Now the whole note, it's called a whole because it takes 1 of them to equal a whole note. It's a whole. A half is half of a whole note. It takes 2 of them. A quarter is a whole note split into quarters, split into 4. Just like a dollar split into 4 is quarters. 8th note, that's a whole note split into 8. And take a look at how many there are of these. Well, you could figure it out if you did the math. But to count them out, there's 16. There's twice as many as 8. Each time you do twice as many. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So while these were called 8th notes, these are called, down here, 16th. Hope that stays on the screen. 16th notes. So there's 4 for every quarter note, and there's 16 of them. for every whole note.